Hello folks, this video is about scanners. And scanners are really important. They're really the basis of feeling work. And for me, this is how actually feeling work was developed. So once you understand what are scanners and how you can use them, this is kind of the key to understanding feeling work and understanding kind of like how do we use it, like what is it made from. And I'll give an example. When I say I feel something, how do I know that I feel it? It's because I have these inner scanners which tells me how much I feel something. Maybe I feel a little bit angry, but maybe I feel really angry. So there's a little scanner, and for a lot of people, I'm saying this because as a note, because a lot of people, these scanners are not activated or not so active. And then what happens, they feel angry and they don't know how angry they are. Because later someone tell them you are really angry and they're like, really? I thought I'm just a little bit angry. So for talking about how much this scanner measured, we're just going to use percentage. So these people, for example, they think they're angry at 80%, but they're actually angry at 10%. Or they think they're angry at 10%, but they're actually angry at 80%. Okay, I'm just giving this preview to scanners. Also, how do I know someone else has a feeling? You know, you're looking at someone and you can kind of know they're 10% scared. I mean, let's say if you're professional at this, maybe you took the space holder training. So like, oh, this person is 10% scared, 40% angry, 30% feeling joy, and 80% sad. You can tell. How do you do it? You have scanners. Now, when I'm scanning scanners, what do I mean? Is it a real thing? It's more an energetic body thing. This is why we just did the energetic body video. I hope you watched it. So this is an energetic body instrument. The same like you have kind of scanners to tell you how much someone is close to you and how much they're far, even if you're closing your eyes. Energetically, you can kind of sense it. The same way you can scan a lot of things. You have a lot of different scanners. And I talk about it more in my book, actually, The Superpower of Sensitivity, where I kind of start to develop that research about the scanners. And so there I talk about different scanners. Hint, there's different scanners in different bodies. But for this video, I just want you to understand what are scanners mostly in your emotional body, because I want you to understand. Next video, we're going to talk about feeling work, more about the feelings, and I want you to understand how do we even know it. Because I don't want you to take it as like this pseudoscience or this like belief system. So it all comes from our scanners. Now, if I tell you, is this your arm? If you're not going to be a philosopher, you're going to say, yeah, that's my hand. And I say, how do you know? You'll think about it for a second, you say, I feel it. And this is really how we know stuff. The moment we start believing, we stop believing in all this stuff. Once we start knowing stuff, this is how we know it, we feel it. Okay, this is a really cool key to life also. Anyways, so you know this is your arm because you can feel it. There's something in you that can feel it and scan your physical body. It knows when you scan your physical body, you kind of know where everything is placed. This leg is now here. The same with your feelings. You don't need anyone to tell you. You don't need to believe in it. You can feel something and you just know it's true because you feel it. So you know that you feel angry right now. Let's say that your scanners are calibrated, which is a term we're going to use. Calibrated means that they're online, they're working, they're balanced. And so your scanners are calibrated and you can feel, okay, now I feel something, or this person feels something. This is because your emotional in your emotional body, your feeling body, scanners are activated, are working. Now, as I do this video, it's interesting. I feel it in my archetypal body. I realize there's something going on here because I didn't plan to do a whole video about scanners, but the more I do it, and I had a lot of videos to do, and I chose this one, and I'm starting to feel like joy and fear a bit about, well, there was a reason why I chose to do scanners, because as I'm doing this video, I'm realizing something that I never thought about before. Like, why can I speak about all these things like in confidence? Yeah, I learned it somewhere, but the way I learned it is just someone told me do this experiment. Try, like, see if it works. What do you feel about it? But what they really told me is use your scanners to see if something is working. So the last video we were talking about the 6 bodies, and each one of them have scanners, right? And this is what I'm telling you in this video. So you have also this intellectual scanner. Now, how do you know that, you know, you're not lost? How do you know to go in this direction? Sometimes your intellectual body, if your intellectual scanner is calibrated, it kind of tells you the way. You know, it tells you the way because your scanner knows. Okay, and when I'm saying to scan is like, in the past there was, you know, you can imagine this, so now we have these scanners that are electronic and you can scan with infrared, for example, like in the FBI movies when they scan the room. And in the past, I think the scanners were something more like magic or something that they spoke about more in an archetypal way. But because there was no clear way to speak about this, a lot of the things were kind of about belief. And this is why, like, I think people could not really think for themselves without believing in things that they were told to. I mean, a lot of people probably did, but most of the people probably didn't. And they just end up following religions or following whatever, because nobody taught them about their scanners. And their scanners were probably not calibrated also. So your scanner can be not calibrated because you didn't work with it, or you didn't learn about it, you don't even know that you have scanners, or you have some kind of an imbalance. Imbalance, I'm going to talk about it more in the unhookable video, and a video about being unhookable, because you can get hooked in different bodies, and that's where one of the hooks is where one of these bodies get out of balance. And so the scanners, when your scanners are calibrated, when you learned with them, you worked with them. So an example, like, you know, when you learn to shoot a bow, how do you know how the wind is going to affect the arrow? You need to start measuring the wind. So at the beginning, you don't know anything about the wind, and the instructor tells you, let's look at the trees, the way they move. Look at the heat waves above the sand on the road. Look at the flags. What do you think the speed of the wind is? And then you say like 40, whatever. You don't even know. And then they tell you, no, it's actually 10. And next time you guess, you look and you're 20. And they tell you, no, this time it's 30. And you keep guessing, but the way you keep looking at things, an experiment, the way you start noticing, it's this art of noticing. You start noticing, and then your guess becomes very accurate. And then you're like, looking, what's the wind? 15. You know, you don't even think about it sometimes. And this, you use your scanners to measure the wind, for example. But as you experiment with different scanners in different bodies, your scanners become better. And then you can stop, naturally you stop letting people tell you what is the what are things, what is the reality. Not that I think there is reality, it's just your reality, whatever. But like, your scanners start to work in a way that you don't need people to tell you what's going on. One example is that you know what people are feeling. And this is what I love about women, because A lot of the time women, because they didn't lost this like knowledge about feelings, they stay more connected maybe to their feelings. They see exactly what you feel. They know, like even if you try to hide it, they know. And so their scanners sometimes are really accurate with that, as they measure the wind from a lot of times. And then, you know, when your scanners are really accurate, you don't need anyone to tell you. And this is what this whole work is about. And this is why I was telling you before that I'm really happy that I did this video. I didn't know why I needed to do it, why I chose scanners, but now I get it. If you get what are scanners and you activate all the scanners in your different bodies, and they're very calibrated and you work with them a lot, you don't need anyone to tell you anything. You can experiment, research everything on your own, figure out. And then I can tell you from my own experiment, it becomes really fast. Like today I can see the work of someone that researched something for 10 years, and I can go through it really fast because my scanners are really calibrated and I can always see what's going on. For example, I can see when this person is speaking about something from an emotion, from being hooked about something. When is this person talking to someone from their child ego state? And we're going to talk about ego state in the next videos. When this person is just very clear, like it happens to me with my clients sometimes, you know, because my scanners are really accurate, I can say, now you're speaking really from your adult and what you're saying is really clear and it lands. And I talk like this with space soldiers. I'm like, you know, now what you did really landed in the room. It's kind of this energetic scanner and intellectual. I can see that what they said now in front of all these people really landed and everyone got it intellectually. Like I can already tell. And using your scanner, it happens so fast. Like, choo. If your scanners are calibrated, you can really be this like superpower. And this is why I wrote about this in my book, The Superpower of Sensitivity. Go there. I say a lot about scanners there. So this is a good place to start, or a good place to continue after this video. So you have all these scanners, you have your center, you have knowledge of your 6 bodies. Look at you. You're already empowered with some things that people hold space for years not even knowing about. And so I think also you are here for a reason. And I'm glad that you're watching these videos. And yeah, I'm glad that I'm doing it right now. My scanners tell me that I feel a bit sadness for realizing that this is happening right now, this special place, this special space, and me sharing about this knowledge about scanners. And there's probably more to know, and read about it in the book, in the page. And let's keep going with the videos. See you soon.